All right, are we ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Grandpa Hill's True Stories. These stories are from my children, like your mother over there, my grandchildren, which is you guys,
Like me.
and all children. This story is called Animal Breaks. Animal breaks. Specifically, animals I see in the road when I'm driving a car. When I was small, more than once, our family dog would get hit and killed by a passing car. This was not a big problem. We were in the country, the dogs were not always well trained, and they did run into the road. My mom had two problems with dogs getting killed this way. One was her sons. The dog, if trained, could run the yard and it would not run into the road. The dog could be supervised by a child and it would behave. The dog, if not supervised and not trained, would be in a kennel or on a chain. Her sons were irresponsible with the dog. I am one of those sons that was irresponsible. I mean, Mom doesn't get upset about our car hitting the dog. That's going to happen. But that we could have prevented it and didn't, that she was bothered. The other problem she had was when the pet would get hit and they would not stop to help the pet. They would not stop to take it even off the road. No compassion. She did not consider it a lack of compassion to hit the dog, but the lack of compassion towards the dog was understood by her and wrong. So not everyone is happy about the damage to their car when they hit an animal. What she had a problem with was the drivers that would leave the injured animal in the road to be found by a neighbor or get hit again. So that's the environment that I was raised in. So what did I do when I started driving? What do you think I did?
You tried not to hit any animals?
No.
You moved them off the road?
That's what your dad did. He tried not to hit any animals. So what did I do when I saw a dog chasing the car? Or a deer about to cross the road? Or a duck? Or a turtle? Or a snake? I tried to protect my car. I tried to protect the people behind me driving a car. And I tried to protect the people in my car. That all came first before the animal, which means I might actually end up hitting the animals. I would avoid them if I could, but I had to check all those things first. Otherwise, I would be putting the animal ahead of everything else. So I have killed some animals with my car. Before I would swerve or brake, I would assess the situation and try to balance out the risk to the car and the risk of unnecessarily killing the animal. So there were 3 encounters that truly happened to me that shaped my intent and desire to give the animals second or third thought and never give the animal first consideration. There was the night of the great deer race. I violated my own rule that day. And there was the Sunday morning when I did follow my rule the best I knew how to, and then I did not do what my mother would have wished me to do. And lastly, there was the incident on 981 in the spring of 2024. Again, I violated my rules for myself that time, and I did not look and evaluate and take action. And then suddenly I was at great risk of my life, and Grandma's life too. 1, the great deer race. I was coming home late at night from visiting Sister Margaret. We were on the last big hill coming into Island. As the car went into the last turn before the hill, the lights of my car flashed across the field and I spied a buck. A big buck with horns, and it was running towards the road. A beautiful 8-point buck, and it was running full speed towards what I don't know exactly, but it was headed in my general direction. What did I do?
You checked stuff?
No, I violated my rules. Did I slam on my brakes?
No.
No. Everyone was asleep in the car, and I'm racing along. It could be a messy stop. Did I let up on the gas and be prepared to stop?
No.
See, that would have been following my rules. I'd be like assessing. No, I didn't do that either. I sped up. I will beat the deer. The deer kept coming. I sped up as much as I could in an HHR going up a hill, which isn't a lot. The buck didn't slow. I didn't slow. It is clear he will lose this race. It was clear he had lost as I kept my foot down. Then it occurred to me, he wasn't racing me. He was racing my lights, and had already made his decision to run behind my lights and get to safety, just running. Thump, thump, as head and then shoulders smashed into the side of my car. He ran right into the doors of the car, which he could not see. The doors caved a little, and he scraped along a little and went down and kept on running. He had lost the race. I had lost the car and some self-respect. And, I hadn't did what I said I was going to always do. Racing a deer was just one stupid thing to do. I should have just slowed down and take a look at what's going on. Nobody was close behind me. They were coming into Island late at night. There's nobody. So there's 2 bad months for hitting deer. I call them dumb deer and stupid deer. Dumb deer is June. June is when the deer are kicked out of the house. The deer are no longer with the original mother, and they're on their own. So they're dumb. They don't know what to do. They just stand there and look at you. And you hit them or you stop and let them walk. Those are the kind Sister Margaret says you should stop for. Actually, she says to stop for all of them. But anyway, the other one, stupid deer, is when this deer was going, and that's during the rut, which is October. So now the deer, it's mating season for the deer, and they're just running all over the place. And they're doing things that they would normally never do. So, we'll go on to the next one. This next one is a little bit scary. On a sunny summer late morning after Mass, we were coming home in one of our 15-passenger vans. We were fond of taking new ways home and exploring the area. This time we had gone to St. Ambrose in Avonmore and were taking the roads just north of Avonmore and working our way east through hollows and reclaimed strip coal mine fields. We made a turn to the right and drove across a flat spot, and then down a little there was a mobile trailer home, made somewhat permanent with lean-to additions tacked on to the front and the back of the trailer. It looked like there may have been children there many years ago. There may have been gardens and chickens too, but it looked run down and possibly abandoned. Nothing was painted on the additions of particle board and plywood, and the paint was peeling off the mobile home. The only sign of civilization was a very uncivil black dog. It was old, but it growled and barked ferociously, continuously. I looked at my situation. No cars behind me, no cars in front. I was going about 20 miles an hour, and I decided to slow down and not harm the dog, and just cruise by. The dog got more ferocious and came right up to the van driver's door, barked and growled at the tires, snapping its jaws. This wasn't working, so I came to a complete stop. The dog really went berserk and snapped and growled and just wouldn't stop. I had had enough. I took my foot off the brake and at idling speed let the van slowly roll forward. Crack! And a faint whimper. I knew in an instant I had killed the dog. Sure enough, in the rearview mirror, it laid there and it had been biting and snapping and growling at the tires of our van. Just rolled forward.
Grandpa,
Oh, yes? Go ahead.
why did you kill the dog?
We'll do more questions like that a little bit later.
Why did you
I didn't.
the animals?
I didn't plan on killing the dog. I thought I was following my plan, avoiding everything.
The dog went under Grandpa's tires.
Yeah.
We didn't know that the dog was going to do that.
I couldn't see the tire, but
He was
I just
stopped. He was trying to let the dog be safe.
get it out of his system.
But then
So the last one was on 981 this past spring. Grandma and I were going to an appointment. Northbound on 981, we had just got to the top of the biggest hill coming out of Latrobe on our way to New Alexandria. Our car came zooming the other direction. As it passed, I could see both lanes clearly now. There she was, a hen turkey, stepping out into the road on the opposite side. Then a chick stepped out behind her. Then a chick stepped out behind that. And then another chick, and another chick, and another chick. By now I had to decide to run the hen down and many of the chicks, or to stop quickly and give them the right of way. So now I got the hen in front of me and a whole string of chicks across both lanes.
that's a lot of chicks.
There was nothing behind me. Of course, I couldn't see very far behind me. I just come over that big hill. I'm up on the flat. I hit the brakes, coming to a full stop, and started to let a whole family of birds make a crossing. Then I looked in the mirror. A very fast, very big coal truck popped into view. I looked forward. The baby birds weren't all across. Surely the truck would see me. Likely they would swerve over to the other lane. But would they? If I accelerated, I would surely kill some chicks. If I stayed where I was, there was significant risk that Grandma and I would be killed. What did I do?
Get over the birds.
I accelerated and prepared to do the bird killing. As I did, the last few birds either hunched down for a second or ran for their lives, but somewhere they made it. No bird. I couldn't see them anymore. They're right, they're crossing in front, but I know they're not off. No birds were killed. Grandma and I were not hurt. Now, deer race? What was wrong with that?
You were racing the deer when you did not need to.
I did not need to. I thought I could.
That would be fun to race a deer.
Yeah, I knew I would win, but I really wasn't thinking about the lights. Because they had to come up the hill and up the side of the ramp of the road, and there's no way. It wasn't like coming off the hill, coming down. I was going to win, but I didn't win at all. Kind of dumb. What about Sunday morning? With the dog, killing a dog.
Maybe you should have backed up instead of going forward.
Yeah, maybe. He might have switched tires, but that might have worked. That might have worked. Good idea.
Yeah.
What else?
I would say maybe honk your horn.
I did do that. I didn't say that there, but I did do that. Nothing would settle it down. It just got angry. It's like I was an enemy.
That one, you didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, but I still did something really wrong.
Stop.
I didn't stop and get that dog off the road. Even though it was not a big deal, I didn't think there'd be anyone come by for another hour probably. I had no idea, but I still should have taken the dog off the road
We should do something.
and write a letter or something and say, I'm sorry, I hit your dog. No matter what the consequences, no matter how mad they got or how nice they were, just they might say thank you. We've been that crazy dog. We haven't known what to do with it. They don't know. But it also could have been something pretty special too. So I should have done that. That's how I violated my mom, because that's what mom would have told us to do. Go ahead.
Stop.
Yep, I did.
Or maybe you should have pulled the dog off the road.
Yeah, I should have done that. Okay, so what about the birds? What did I do there? The birds made it. I made it.
But it seems like it was a win-win.
Yeah, was it?
You did put you and Grandma in danger.
Yeah, it was a different kind of a race that put us in danger.
Did you honk your horn then?
Oh, no, I didn't honk my horn at all.
That would have gone.
No, I think it might have scattered them. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Was it an option to go over in the other lane?
If I'd gone left, I'd hit chicks. If it went right, I'd hit hen.
Okay.
So they're like, by the time I came to a stop, they're all there. All the way across. Guess what I did right after I got out of that problem?
What?
Because I couldn't believe I did it, first of all. I just was against me. I just have to run them down because it's a totally unsafe place to stop. I could have swerved to the left, maybe. I called Sister Teresa Paul, and I said, I left her a note that day. I says, you won't believe what I did. Because they all know that I would definitely choose my family and my car over the animal. And which means sometimes you stop anyways because you're going to protect your car because you stop. But I have to look in my rearview mirror. So I stopped and I didn't look in my rearview mirror other than I looked. Oh, nothing's coming. Boom. But I also know that's a place where people are going 60 miles an hour and you don't see them. 2 seconds later, you're going to see them. And I cannot get off the road in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
Was there a shoulder?
Yeah, there's good shoulders. But there's birds on the shoulders.
How many birds were there?
I think there's about 7 or 8 chicks behind her. Maybe more.
Wow.
So maybe if you reverse.
Maybe
Back
11
onto the
chicks.
shoulder.
Maybe,
Oh, reversed. Okay. That's what I should have done.
maybe 11.
Put it in the reverse and jump back into the... Yeah, that would have been helpful. That would get me off the road.
That would get you off the road.
I wish your mom was with me
Someone
because
else
then
can
I
do
wouldn't
it.
feel so bad about it. I felt bad about not killing the birds.
What?
Yeah. I didn't feel like, oh, I made it. Because that would have been like getting
That's
away
a
with...
little too close.
It's just like, I shouldn't have stopped. But I did.
Too great a risk.
And then the next step after I stopped, which should have been what your mom said, it's nice flat, back it up, and get off the road. Because as I'm seeing them and they're not quite all crossed, I look up. Oh, wow, I can see the whole truck. It's right there.
Those club trucks go too fast.
Oh, and then if they swerve, they kill people anyway because their center of gravity is high and they flip over.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my true story.
Yeah.
You'll have to make decisions when you start driving.
Yeah.